weiß nicht, ob ich das packe. Growing up, I was never the most athletic kid. I never really excelled at any sport, but was relatively good at a lot of them. As a kid from a small village, I grew up playing football and basketball with my classmates, and eventually down the line in my teenage years, I started to play table tennis, but I dropped that as well. And that's when I joined the gym. And I stick with it for the last 10 years, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I couldn't be more happier lifting weights. But in 2020, I found the joy of running. And when the 5th of January in 2021 came around, I committed to the goal to run a sub 4-hour marathon. So today is race day, and not gonna lie, I'm quite nervous for this whole journey, but I'm also super excited to finally race my first marathon. I don't care if it's an official race or not, I'm just super excited to finally try to achieve that goal of running a sub 4-hour marathon. It's been a long journey here. It's been 8 months of training pretty much every single day, maybe a few days here and there off because there was an injury or maybe due to getting the COVID shot, but otherwise I pretty much ran every single day for like 8 months. It was blood, sweat and tears, but we're finally here. Right now I'm just hydrating. I had some food. I'm just getting ready with my gels, trying to get like mentally in the zone. So before we head to the loop, or rather the location I wanted to run this whole thing in, I want to replicate something that Nick Bare did in his sub 3-hour marathon attempt. And that is, I want to ride already like on my shoe the time I want to run in. So I'm just gonna write like a 3 on it. That will hopefully motivate me to really push me through, to really make me achieve this sub 4-hour marathon. And also I think it's a beautiful idea because it's just like an item that you can hold close and dear to yourself, where you think like this is something that has emotional value. If you load it up with like good energy, and maybe I will keep this for the rest of my life to always remember me when I was running my first marathon. It's gonna be something that I'm gonna show my kids and be super proud of. So let's just do this. You know, running a marathon was never about external validation. I never did it to get a medal at the end or some piece of paper that said I did it, but I did it purely for myself and to improve the person I am. It was all about just putting in the work day in, day out, and when finally race day comes around, it's just show up and crush your goal. And that's why it was totally okay for me to just pick a course, just go there by myself and try to run a marathon in under 4 hours. Obviously in the future I would like to attend an official event where I have the whole marathon experience, where the crowd is cheering you on, we have the other athletes suffering with you, where you just have that beautiful feeling everybody's talking about. But it also had something very beautiful, the whole lone wolf experience, where it's just like just literally yourself and you're able to show yourself if you can finally achieve that goal of yours. Alright guys, so we are now off to the Tempelhofer Feld, which is quite the drive, but that's a good thing. We can get the mind right. I'm doing it the whole thing like I did the whole prep. I'm just gonna go somewhere, I'm gonna run the 42.2 kilometers and I'm gonna see if I make it in under the 4 hours. So let's focus on the traffic and let's head to Tempelhofer Feld. Doing this whole prep really changed me. It made me realize that it's not the things that you do once for 8 hours, but the things you do every day, day in, day out for 30 minutes that will absolutely transform your life. Because you will be absolutely amazed by what can change in just 3 to 6 months if you do something every single day for 30 minutes. As you can see, we made it to the Tempelhofer Feld. Actually, this is a pretty cool location. This is an not abandoned, but a closed down airport. Back in the days, it was the Central Berlin Airport, but now it's free to use for everyone. There's lots of runners here, also like cyclists. It's pretty active here on Sunday morning. So I'm pretty stoked to run here. I think this is gonna be very cool. And right now, I'm just gonna get all my stuff ready. I'm gonna mix the first like electrolyte powder together with water. I'm gonna do some running drills and warm-ups, and then we're off for the attempt. So let's do this. Alright, so as you can see, we are fully equipped. We got the belt on with the water. I'm gonna start the marathon right now, so I'm pretty nervous. I'm really excited, but I'm super happy to do this whole thing now. It's like 8 months accumulated into this moment, but enough talking. I just want to start this.
Are you ready?
Are you ready to do this?
I'm so proud of you. You can do it. I'm gonna wait here for you. Okay. And los. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Okay. Right on time. Genau 6 Kilometer. Zeit stimmt. Ich fühle mich noch gut. Noch 38 Kilometer. When I started the race, you can believe that with 110%, I believe that I can run the marathon in under 4 hours. Ich bin jetzt bei 18 Kilometer, jetzt tut's langsam weh. I prepped for it so long, I trained so hard, I did everything that I could have done, but sadly at kilometer 36, I bonked crazy hard. Bei 30 Kilometern.
Yes.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich das packe. Still, kilometer 36, it was hard as well, but I think I was like well within the 3 hour 30 mark, or even a bit lower. But it just hit the wall. It was an absolutely crazy experience. It's where your legs feel like they're like 2 million tons heavy. I was disorientated. I was seeing stars. I felt like throwing up and puking. It's just an absolutely horrible experience, but it will stick with me definitely for the rest of my life.
I think it starts getting really hard for him. But when you hear that, I'm just proud of you, no matter what. No matter if you stay now here, you stop, or you continue, I'm very, very proud of you. No matter what. Kannst du noch?
6,5 Kilometer. Ich komme von hier.
Okay. Oh my goodness, this seems to be wild.
And as I was hitting the wall, I had to make a decision. I was like, Roman, you can either quit right now. I mean, nobody's here to like see it, or you're just gonna push through. You're gonna use all those months of training. And I chose to just walk the last 6 kilometers. And it took me 1 whole hour to walk with my wobbly legs. But I finished my first marathon in 4 hours and 33 minutes. Of course, I would be lying if I said I'm not disappointed that I missed my mark. But running, and especially preparing for a marathon, was one of the best life lessons I ever made. It taught me to set a goal, to commit to something, to put in the work day in, day out, even when it's 6 or 7 a.m., it's minus 10 degrees, where my eyelashes froze together, when it was raining and just absolutely don't feel like doing it, but you still do it. The feeling you get once you do the training sessions and when you do the race itself is something that nothing else in this world can give you. It's no materialistic purchase of getting a house or a car or whatever that will give you this feeling of you set out to do something and it was just literally all your guts, blood, sweats and tear that pushed you through it, for especially if it's a physical challenge like a marathon where it's literally only on you dependent if you can make it or not. And that's the beauty when you have to grow, or when you challenge adversity, you have to grow over it. And it's a lesson and an experience that will stick with you, that you can channel whenever you are in a different life situation, where you just know, it's like when I put my head down, I can grow through this and I can become a better person. And I know for some people this may sound a bit over the top. It's like you just ran for 42 kilometers. But these are the people that did not make this experience yet. And if they would they would definitely know what I'm talking about. And when I started this whole prep, I had this little voice in my head as well, where there was self-doubt, where I thought like, I'm not sure if I can make it. And probably you have the same voice in your head right now as well. Maybe it's a bit more quiet or a bit more louder, but you can believe me, if you set a certain and specific goal, you execute your plan, you commit to something, you can achieve this as well, especially if it's a marathon. If you do your training, if you do your due diligence when it comes to nutrition, recovery, etc., you are able to run a marathon as well, even if you're struggling right now to just run 5 kilometers, because that was the same for me. I absolutely transformed my life into being able to run kilometers on end, running 100K in 1 week and still be feeling like I want to run more. And if you choose to commit to this goal, you can become a marathoner as well. And you can best believe that running a sub 4-hour marathon is not a dream of mine, but still just the goal.